Friends, we have come to the end of the book of Zechariah, chapter 14. We're on today, and it's talking about a day, a coming day, and saying over and over again from chapter 13 on, it's saying, on that day. And what is this day? It's the day of the Lord that we've heard about from other prophetic books that we've looked at. It said, behold, a day is coming for the Lord. See, this is the Lord's day, the day of the Lord. It's a day for the Lord when the spoil taken from you, see, the spoils of war where you've lost in the past, will be divided in your midst. That somehow there's going to be a turning around where your persecutors that seem to be winning and taking away everything that was yours, they're going to have to bring it all back, because this is the Lord's plan. For I will gather all the nations against Jerusalem to battle. But then what's going to happen? There's going to be a division that takes place on that day. And it talks about how a good portion of the city goes off to judgment. Things that look like they're part of the city that really weren't, they go off to judgment. And then you have the remnant that remains. And that remnant will be greatly blessed. So the Lord will go out and fight against those nations as when he fights on a day of battle. And on that day, it says, his feet shall stand where? On the Mount of Olives. Think about this in terms of Jesus in his earthly ministry and the significant place of the Mount of Olives as he goes to the cross. But then, is it also some future day at his return? On that day, his feet shall stand on the Mount of Olives that lies before Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall be split in two from east to west by a very wide valley. I think this has to do with the division between the righteous and the unrighteous that's going to take place on the day of judgment. And there's going to be this chasm between one group and another, where one part of the Mount of Olives moves north, it says, and the other half southward. What's that about? You're never going to have that meeting again of those two. Why? Because there's going to be a complete separation between the righteous and the wicked. And so it talks about this as a unique day, as like day one of a new beginning, a day that is known to the Lord. Isn't that right? And at evening time there shall be light. It's like a new creation now. It's going to be different. On that day, living waters shall flow out from Jerusalem, half of them to the eastern sea and half of them to the western sea. This reminds me of Ezekiel 47, but also what Jesus says in John's gospel, out of you shall flow streams of living water. We are the temple of the Holy Spirit. From us, the Spirit and the fruits of the Spirit are flowing out everywhere to the whole earth. And one day there's going to be a new creation, new heavens and the new earth. And on that day, what will we have? Well, the Lord will be king over all the earth. All the earth. And this Jerusalem, then, that's spoken of, shall be inhabited, and there shall never again be a decree of utter destruction. See, all of that will be over. And Jerusalem shall dwell in security, complete security. And everyone who survives, here it says, of all the nations. So that apparently there are going to be some people of the nations that are to be saved. All of them who survive shall go up year after year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Booths. That was always a symbol. The Feast of Booths was always a symbol of our dwelling with the Lord forever. So it's fitting that it would be used here at the end of Zechariah. And even the most common things like For instance, on the horses, it says, the bells of the horses shall be inscribed holy to the Lord. And the little bowls that you would have expected not to be used for anything special, they're going to be holy. Why? Because the whole thing is going to be holy, and the people are going to be holy. The Lord is holy. And you have this perfect conclusion here. Yeah, it's hard to sort out some of the symbols that are used, but we get the point, don't we? This is the day that is coming. The Lord knows that day. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. And if you're in Christ, you're going to be there. Father, thank you. Your mercies are forever. We thank you for this book of Zechariah. We're grateful for these truths that have been given to us here. In Jesus' name, amen. Blessings, friends.